Welcome to Lifeness with Logan Hall. It's life, it's business, it's Lifeness. Live from the StriveVenta.com studios, here's Logan Hall.
All right. Oh, yeah. Lifeness in the house today. It's life, it's business, it's Lifeness. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I appreciate it. Been talking to some of you out there that listen to the show and the kind comments and things you say about the show, how it's helping you guys in your life, and spreading that to other people is just great to hear, and that's what we're all about, trying to spread good positive vibes and good positive thoughts and encouragement and give people ideas on how to give back and ways to get involved and be part of your community. And speaking of being part of your community, get involved and giving back, I've got a good friend of mine, Mr. Billy Hobbs. Billy, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
My pleasure. Billy's like me. He's got the face for radio. He's also got a good voice for radio. And he's a good guy. And we're going to get into what he's doing. This is his third time on the show. I think you are the first three-time guest so far. Yeah. All right, man. I must really like you, and you must have some good things going on. And that's what it's all about, is bringing people like this from the community into the show to give them a voice, to reach out to some more people, some more ears, to help people get some good encouragement, know that there's some awesome people out there doing some awesome things. We're going to talk about Billy Hobbs and his foundation that he's very heavily involved in, which is Heart for the City. We're going to get to that here in a second. But a couple other things to start off. First off, very exciting. Football is right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
I cannot wait. I believe the Cardinals start their training camp this Saturday.
I think so. Yes, sir.
Let's go Redbirds. It's going to be a good season. Picked up another good tight end I saw. We've been adding some pretty solid people. And also, the Cardinals made history with the first female coach in the NFL. Did you hear that?
I did. Watch that interview. I think it's going to be exciting to see. But, yeah, she looks like she's ready for the task.
I wouldn't want to mess with her.
I know.
I heard about people watching some of her YouTube clips on her running through people through the line and just being mean. I don't think I'd want to mess with her. But how about the progression of women in sports? It was just years back that NBA had their first women referee, right? You know, now there's umpires and it's all over.
Yeah, I just spent the last couple weeks ago, took my son over to Vegas to watch NBA Summer League and got to see Becky Hammon coaching the Spurs, on the sideline, and she was fiery, man. She got in their faces, and
they won the championship, right? They beat our Suns, unfortunately.
Yeah, but heck, she was in there. She was getting on them, and she was coaching, and you could tell they were listening and respecting. So yeah, it was fun to watch.
And that's cool. So come on, Arizona Cardinals. And another kind of fun fact for some of you who are older or younger, this kind of applies because we're all going to get there at some point. 50 years ago to the day, President Lyndon Johnson signed Medicare and Medicaid into law. 50 years ago to the day. And that's very important. And here's kind of some of the statistics. It shows that 50 years ago when he signed this, almost half of all Americans did not have any health insurance. None. When you fast forward to today, less than 2% of elderly Americans don't have insurance. So 98 out of 100 older people out there who are in retirement who probably need health insurance have it because of Medicare and Medicaid. I think that's kind of a cool fact. So I guess happy birthday, Medicare and Medicaid. Who knows how long it's going to be around or where it's going in the future, but it's still here and it helps people out. So I think that's really cool. Speaking about helping people out, Billy Hobbs, good guy. I love Billy. I've known Billy for a long time. He's also a realtor. He's a very good realtor here in the Valley. He went to my local rival high school, Moon Valley High School, sir. The Rockettes. Yeah, there you go. We'll throw that out there. And so Billy and I kind of have some overlapping circle network of friends, but we're both just kind of on that same playing field when it comes to being here for a bigger and better reason than ourselves. There's really no I in the way that Billy looks at life. It's definitely a we perspective. He's got a great family. He's very involved in his church, in his community, in his family, in their sports, their extracurricular activities. As I mentioned, he's a full-time realtor. He's got a team of agents that he mentors and trains and shows them how to do real estate the right way, which there's a lot of realtors who don't do it the right way. So, kudos to you on many levels, Billy, but we're going to talk about the foundation that you're most heavily involved in, which is Heart for the City. Can you kind of tell our listeners a little bit about the background, where it came from? I know Joe's kind of the main guy involved, but how it's evolved, where it's at now, and where it's going.
Yeah, so Heart for the City was kind of birthed out of a vision that Joe Enriquez had, basically to do inner city community work with youth and kids. We call it immersion ministry, where he moved his family to the inner city of Glendale and began to coach kids. And through that coaching, he began to mentor kids. And through that mentoring, it just became a process of growth where they started, really just started with athletics. And since that point, almost 9 years ago, we've, he's seen it grow into the thing it is today, which is going from just sports programs to workforce development programs to community garden to running a community center to scholarshiping kids to school. There's so many things that it's now grown into that I'm probably, I'm sure it's greater than anything he could have dreamed or imagined when, 9 years ago he's coaching at Glendale High School and just beginning to start the process of helping these inner city kids that are surrounded by drugs, gang violence, and really not having the mentors and parents at home to direct them in life. So he became that parent figure, that father figure, that mentor, and it's really grown from, to give you an example, each year we hold a fundraising event. It's a gala. It's a casino night. They come out, hear about what Heart for the City does. And if I remember right, his first event when he started had, I want to say, 35 people. The last event that we had this last year, we had over 950 people.
What? What?
Yeah.
Where was I? How come I didn't get the invite, Billy?
Well, I don't know why, but you'll get one next year for sure.
All right, make sure I get the invite. That's
yeah.
Whoa, look at the growth in that. In 9 years, that's 3,000% growth, I think, if my math's good. I maybe somewhere close to that. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been amazing to see the amount of people that have gotten involved, and it's really cool to see a guy like Mike, who runs the football program. He was the first kid to really come out of it, graduated from Grand Canyon University, and came back, and now he runs the football program, helps out the community center, is involved in Joy Christian School as a coach to help the kids that are involved there running the football program. So yeah, it's been amazing to not only see what the benefit is of the kids that have gone out, but to see them come back and actually pour back into the ministry and to the youth.
We've had Mike on the show. He's a good, solid dude. He's all in, just like you are. His story was kind of shared that he was at a very crucial point in his life where he kind of had the decision to go down that wrong path and get into the gangs and get involved in some of that stuff. Or all of a sudden this door opened up and he saw a light that there might be a way out, and here he is giving back now. That's the true story of coming through the whole program and giving back. Not just saying, okay, thanks, now I'm just going to take off and go be who I am and not give back. And that's what the important part about this, you guys, is appreciating what you have, and when you have the opportunity to give back. I had the opportunity to meet Joe at the coffee grounds. Very awesome guy. His daughter was working there as well. She's a splitting image of him. She's a firecracker, and just how involved they were in everything that was going on. It's a very cool organization. We're going to take a short break here in just a little bit. We got a couple more things we're going to talk about: the community garden, the scholarships, the football program, being involved in your church, the summer camps that you guys have had. We got Billy Hobbs with Heart for the City. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm here with a good friend of mine, John St. George, owner of Phoenix Carpet Water Restoration, home of the Spot Crew. John, tell us a little bit about your company.
Thanks, Logan. We are a locally owned carpet, tile, upholstery, and oriental rug cleaning company here in the Valley. We're happy to celebrate our 5-year anniversary, and we're giving 25% off to all new customers to call in at 602-319-8446.
So that phone number again, 602-319-8446, 602-319-8446. Call my buddy John for a free estimate today. Tell him Logan sent you. All right, let's get some rock. Rock! All right, we are back, and we're pumped up, and we are rolling with my man, Billy Hobbs. Billy Hobbs, Heart for the City, got an awesome gig going on. So before the break, we're talking about Joe and his daughter, involvement and everything. Mike came through the program. We've had Mike on the show in the past. And let's talk more about the scholarship programs and how many kids you guys have been helping on a yearly basis and what that really means as far as getting them into a different element and trying to change their lives?
Well, I think the key is to basically take somebody who's grown up in the inner city and they've only seen life one way and give them the exposure to see that, one, that there are people out there that are of different race, ethnicity, of color that are willing to actually pour into them, and also see that the opportunities are there. And so one of the ways that Heart for the City has been able to do that is to take in scholarship. This year we're scholarshiping 34 kids through writing grants and through donations and those type of things to Joy Christian School. We provide transportation to and from school, to their activities if they're involved in sports, those type of things. And then the school also provides them lunches. So really it's an opportunity for these kids to get into an environment, a learning environment, a social environment, and an environment to just see that, hey, there are possibilities outside of the inner city. And hopefully it's not to take them out, and hopefully at some point they begin to see that, they have a responsibility as well to, do the same thing within their communities and grow their communities and show others that there are greater opportunities out there. So, yeah, we've been able to do that. We've been really blessed and seen that grow. We have a kid right now that actually has come through the program. He's a senior this year, and he's got some opportunities to look at some D1 colleges playing football.
And so let's talk about the football program, because that's kind of where it started with Joe as a football coach at Glendale High School, one of our rival high schools.
Yeah.
And here it is now, the football program. I know that's a big part of what you guys do. How many kids are in the football program? There's one team. How does it kind of work?
So we typically have 8 teams. We start out in junior high, and we provide all the pads and all the league fees and everything that's involved with the program. So we've got about typically 8 teams that run anywhere from 15 to 20 kids apiece, all volunteer coaches. And we run a season. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to start that season in September when it starts to cool off a little bit. And they come out, they play games, and end up in a tournament, and they end up getting trophies for winning the tournament, and it's really a great opportunity for these coaches become mentors and father figures to them on the field as well, and gives them a place, to be honest with you, in the inner city, a place where they can legally, in a sense, let out their aggression, the frustrations, the things that they're going through on a daily basis. It gives them that outlet to go ahead and freely express that.
I think that football and maybe boxing are those two sports where you can get some of that aggression out and do it legally and ethically, I guess.
Yeah.
It's get out there, but have that sense of camaraderie as a team. Football is one of the biggest team sports. It takes all 11 players on that field to make that machine work.
Yeah, and speaking of the kids that we have, that we're scholarshiping and able to get them into Joy. We've got our largest freshman class coming in, 15 kids.
Wow!
And one of the things that we've really noticed, and you're talking to Mike Chavez about it, because he's really just intricately involved in what they're doing, is how the older kids have basically taken them under their wings and have brought them in and basically told them that, hey, this is what, you're not just representing yourself here, you're representing your community, you're also representing Heart for the City, and it's shown them responsibility, and it's given them a sense of pride that maybe they didn't have before, but it's become that community for them, it's become that family to them, and it's become that accountability, that mentor, that father figure, and the kids are doing it for themselves as well. So it's been really neat to see.
I got the chills right in that part where you're saying that they were telling them it's more than about them, it's about representing their community.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it's all about. And again, Mike is just the perfect example of, hey, I didn't forget where I came from. I still got my roots. I still got family there. I'm not going to turn my back on we'll call it the hood, just because I got out of it. I have a responsibility to give back. And how about the maturity of some of these kids that were those freshmen 3 years ago that are now the seniors? They've seen their lives benefit from all this, their families around them, some of the friends that are involved, and say, hey, this is a very special thing to be a part of.
It is.
And you need to embrace it, and you need to be grateful for it and do everything you can to give back.
Yeah, and you're seeing kids get opportunities like going to college that they never thought that they would have, right? And I remember when I first heard about Heart for the City, and it was through their coffee shop, Java Grounds, where they use it as a workforce development program.
Which we're going to talk about here in a minute.
And I began to get involved with that, and I ended up at one of their field days, because they run field days towards the end of the year for junior high, elementary kids to just have a way to go out and water sports and just kind of let out, the stresses of the school year, right? And I'm standing there talking to Joe. He's explaining to me a little more about what Heart for the City does. And I had a kid come up, and he said, "Hey, Mr. Joe, I was talking to," and I can't remember the kid's name,